Okay. The main reasons is we like to take her to the park, but and throw the ball, and that was fine for a while without a leash. And then she got to the point where she was like, you know what? Running around this big open field and farmland is a lot more fun than chasing the ball.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to spend our time chasing her.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not coming back when you call her right away.
No.
Yeah.
And the kids and I would, for Paige, it wouldn't even be an option trying to chase her down. For me, I'd probably given up and left her. And the kids, and she's done it a couple times. So that's...
How'd you eventually get her? She just got tired?
Yeah, or one time she left the house and we couldn't get her back. And even though we're like a mile off the main road, and my son had chased her and he said, hey, she's in the road down there, or she crossed the road into a cornfield. And we couldn't find her. And I said, well, maybe she just came home because it was starting to get dark. And she came home. She made her way back. She was covered in water and stuff, and it was freezing up on her fur. But she had enough. And just came back.
Goodness. Huh?
So recall was one of the main reasons, with her running off. She pulls on the leash sometimes to chase deer. There's a lot of deer in the neighborhood, jumping up on people. Even us sometimes. When we come back from an hour or two being away, she's, oh, I'm so glad you're back, and she's jumping up and stuff. Maybe growling for resource guarding and stuff. Now the kids probably provoke it and stuff, but it scares her, my wife. Chewing. I don't know what you can do with chewing. My molding's already screwed up, so it doesn't matter at this point. So she likes to chew things still. Just growling and barking at other dogs, which to me seems pretty normal, but I don't know if you can do anything about that. And then we were at a campground just recently, and some older guys walking his dog in front of the trailer, and she just charged it. Okay, and she was tied up, so didn't hurt anybody, but
Looked scary.
To that guy, it did.
Hi guys, this is Julie. We are back from our little vacation at the beach, and we've got a new set of dogs coming in. Our first dog today is a female golden retriever named Ginger. She's a very nice dog. We've got one dog coming in today, 2 tomorrow, right? This is Ginger. She's 1.5 years old, and her family signed her up for training for a few things, but the main one is the big safety issue, and that is lack of recall. Meaning when she's off a leash, she does not come when called. And they said a couple of times it's been really scary. She got out their front door and they lost her. They basically got lucky that she eventually came home, but it was after dark and she had like frozen water stuck to her fur. She was like running through a cornfield. One time she ended up on a main road. They used to be able to have her off leash when she was younger. Playing fetch, but they said eventually she decided that running around and not coming back and exploring was more fun than the game of fetch. And so I don't know if you guys have ever had the experience of being with a dog off leash and having no way to call them to you, and they're not listening and they're running away. It is the worst feeling in the world to not know if your dog's going to come back or not. It's scary out there. There's cars. These dogs are not aware of the dangers of the real world. So that's why the recall command is so important, and all of our dogs leave completely off-leash trained. So at her go-home session, she will be off-leash walking with her owner. She will be off-leash recalling with her owner. Okay? A couple other minor things, jumping up on people, chewing things she shouldn't. The owner said the molding in their house is just completely ruined. A little growling over some toys and resources like that, pulling on the leash, barking at dogs. So, a lot of these things are symptoms of the big core issue that almost every dog we see has, which is they simply don't listen when they need to, and they don't stop when they're told to stop. So, because they find humans irrelevant, I'm attached to her with this string, but she doesn't care about me right now. I mean, she'll drag me places. If I let go of the leash, I would not be able to get her back to me, and that would be very scary. And that's just because she doesn't find us and her humans relevant enough to listen to when there's more exciting things going on. That doesn't mean she doesn't love her family. She does. But dogs are going to do what is fun for them in the moment and what works for them in the moment, because there's no reason not to until we get some meaningful training in. Right? Ooh! I just have her on a basic slip leash, and the entire time I've had her on this leash, she's been at the end of it. So just pulling the entire time, right? Pulling all of her weight on me to stop or move forward if I'm going in a direction she doesn't want to go. So, I mean, that's just her language of the leash is it's always tight, there's always tension, and to get where I want to go, I either stop and pull back or I pull forward. And I just don't care about the human at the end because I'm fulfilling my own desires. If I were to drop it, it would be a begging game to get her to come back, hoping that I had something valuable enough, right? But that's really hard when the distractions are so high in the woods, when there's deer and there's lots of smells of other dogs, right? So that's why we love e-collar training so much. It's because once we have the training in, it gives us relevance as humans, as handlers, as owners. We can take our dogs anywhere and know, look at this. I mean, this is crazy. She doesn't care at all. Know that we can get our dogs back. Now, all the other little stuff, jumping, chewing, pulling, I mean, that's all, like I said, side effects of the big problem, which is she's not a follower. So once we change her mindset into humans are relevant, I should listen to them, every other problem goes away because we have a way to either tell her to do something or tell her to stop doing something, and she listens. I'm sorry, but interacting with a dog like this, it's just not very fun. I'd much rather have a deep and meaningful bond. A dog who is actually looking up at me and giving me eye contact and wanting to know what I have to say and wanting to listen to me, and then we can go hiking and do fun stuff. Ginger, sit. Ginger, sit. Ginger, sit. Hey, Ginger. Sit. Ginger. Oh my God. Ginger. Ginger, sit. Sit. Ginger, sit. Ginger, hey, no. Sit. Sit. Guys, this is me just trying to get her into a basic sit so I can take a before picture of her. Like so many dogs, just completely finds humans irrelevant unless I have something to offer her as a bribe, and even then I don't think she would take it. The environment's too distracting, but she just doesn't think I'm relevant enough to listen to, and that's like a lot of dogs that come in. She'd rather sniff, you know, I'm holding the leash, but she doesn't really care. Doesn't mean she's a bad dog. A lot of dogs come in like this. Unless you give them a reason to listen to you, they are not going to. Sit. Ginger, sit. Ginger,